A 3-2-1. Back underway at Tuscola. As we start the fourth quarter, Monticello with the football. Running the ball up the middle. Looks like it was nicely again. He's going to get about a yard on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 14. Mark the ball at the 28-yard line.
Let's see here, Alan. We got some new faces out there on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
We're trying to see if we do.
We'll try to plug them in here as we can. Here's a man in motion to the left side. Here's Parrish handing off to Nicely. He's got some running room. He's hit from behind at about the 22. Gain of about 6.
We've got number 64, who is new to the defense for Tuscola, Brandon Evans.
Okay.
Looks like he's playing up over the top of the ball, so he's our nose guard. We've got 33 out to the outside defensive end.
That's Josh Silva. Wide left is Ryan Bidner for Monticello. Parrish in the shotgun on 4th down. He pitches to Nicely. He gets inside the 20 to the 19. I think he's going to be short of the first down in Tuscola.
Looks like we have 83 Zach Bates out there on the defense line at that time as the left defensive end.
And the Warriors will take over 1st and 10. The ball just inside the 20 at the 19 with 10:25 or 10:27 left to go. Tommy Watson into the ball game for the Warriors, number 10 at a running back. Nick Bates back in at quarterback for the Warriors.
Watson splitting out left.
Tommy can play some quarterback too if they need him.
Mm-hmm.
Austin
Martin's in the backfield.
I think he's a backup quarterback too.
Zach Bates in the slot.
I think they got a quarterback from every class. Here's a reverse. Running with the football, Christopher West, I think.
Yes.
Okay, Chris West getting into the ball game. Getting some yardage. He may have gotten about a yard. Oh, he got about 6. They're going to mark at the 25. So Chris West, a 5'9", 155-pound senior.
Well, it's apparent that Tuscola is going to have to lick their wounds, and right now they're just getting some players in there to see how they respond to some varsity play.
Here's West in motion again. Here's a handoff to Martin. He's got the first down and more.
Oh,
he's up to midfield. He's still on his feet inside the 50, down to the 48-yard line of Monticello. So Austin Martin ran like an Aston Martin.
Yes, he did. Tommy Watson had his guy hooked up out here and was doing a nice job keeping him out of the play, and he just happened to give up on the play a little bit too soon. About the time he just kind of gave up on the play, that's when Austin Martin was right there on him, and his man just slid out there and made the tackle, but he was doing a fine job blocking his man right up until that time, but we got a first down out of it.
3 men wide to the right. Here's Bates back to throw, throws to the right side.
Very nice
Gets
pass.
it to Austin Rexroad. Rexroad with the reception.
Wearing number 30 uniform.
Ball marked at the 44. We're going to call it a 4-yard play. Going to be 2nd and 6 at the 45.
Very tight-looking spiral coming off of Nick Bates right there on that pass.
Here's Bates from the shotgun. Throws complete.
Another nice one.
Complete to Zach Bates.
There's the Bates hookup right there.
Okay.
I was waiting for that.
And it's going to be a gain. 36, a gain of about 8. Should be first down for Tuscola. And we're running out of space here for pass receivers. Watson wide to the left. 2 men wide to the right, looks like Rex Road. Here's Zach Bates in motion. Nick rolling out to the right, and he's pulled down behind the line of scrimmage. Matt Strack making the tackle.
And he shot through a gap there, and Austin Martin had a chance to block him and kind of got off of Austin Martin and just ran Nick down from behind.
Loss of 8 on the play.
Looked like Nick was intending to roll out to the right and possibly hook up with his brother again.
Here's Watson to the left, Zach Bates to the left. Nick's going to take it up the middle. He gets inside the 40 to about the 36. And the clock runs with 7:35 left to go in the football game. Mark it at the 36. Got those 8 yards back. Going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Warriors. Martin in the backfield. West and can't tell if that's Eric Christ, number 81, wide to the right. Zach Bates and Watson to the left. Here's Nick Bates getting flushed out of the pocket.
I was going to say, he'll just keep
He's going to run. He's got some running room. He'll should have a 1st down.
Attaboy. Well, there's no doubt about it. The Bates boys got some running in their blood. Their dad was one of the great running backs from that ever donned a Tuscola Warrior uniform. Steve Bates was a heck of a running back in his day, and it's going to be fun watching these 2 freshmen and sophomores mature over the years and see just how good they can become.
Ball at the 18, 1st and 10. Nick Bates with 5 carries, 40 yards in a relief roll. Here's a pitch out to Austin Martin. He goes wide to the left side, gets away from one man. He's finally stood up and brought down after a gain of a couple. Stays in bounds. Austin Martin. Well, let's see. Maybe 3 or 4 on the play.
Well, I know they're moving the ball against a second-string players, the Monticello Sages, but it's good to see.
Gain of about 5 on the play for Martin. Got to be 2nd and 5 at the 13. Here's Bates rolling right, gets away from one man.
Just absolutely shot the gaps.
Parker Trice.
He had 5 Monticello Sages around him, and he was not going to go anywhere on that play.
I thought it was 13, but why would you? Now, Parker Trice on the sideline, so that must have been Sam Parrish on the tackle. Ball goes back to the 25, a loss of 12. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 17 to go. They have to get to the 8-yard line. Man, I did that without a calculator. Here's Bates with the snap from the shotgun. Gets away, tries to scramble up the middle. He'll get a few yards, but not much. Making a grab at him was Blake Champion.
He's dropping back, Allen, and I tell you that the guy has just got Sages on him. Tuscola's calling the timeout. They're going to probably talk to the line a little bit and say, come on now.
Next Saturday, DouglasCountyDigest.com will be at Villa Grove for the Saturday afternoon game against Crossroads Academy of Big Rock, Illinois. My information is that's kind of a confederation of homeschool kids, so they get together and play football. So this is, I think, their 2nd year of playing football. They only played 2 games last year. They have 6 scheduled. They didn't play last week. They opened, I think they open tomorrow.
Celeste is finally going to get to go back home to Villa Grove and watch her Blue Devils play a little football.
Woohoo! That game is at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. Warriors travel to Shelbyville next week to take on the Shelbyville Rams and the Warriors' former head coach Stan Winkie. Monticello will get Meridian. at Monticello. Meridian in the midst of a 22-game losing streak. Here's Bates on 4th down. He's going to keep it, gets away from one man. He's not going to get away from the second one.
Looked like he was looking for some receivers deep in the end zone and just couldn't get himself set up to launch a rocket back there, and it didn't take long. He was swarmed over again. Sages are all over the youngster.
And they're going to say, I think, no gain on the play. Ball marked, well.
Change possession.
Yep. Now he lost 3 on the play. So
4:57 left in the fourth, 13-49.
And the Sages take over. Sam Parrish at quarterback. He hands off up the middle, little or no gain on the play. Let's see. I'm thinking that was a 35. That would be Chase Hinton, a sophomore. So gets a couple yards. Going to be 2nd and 8 from the 24-yard line. Clock rolling, 4:30 to go. Shelbyville, one of those teams that struggled over the last few years, but I think if they're patient, they let Stan Winke, put in his program the way he had it here at Tuscola, they'll get better.
Absolutely. If Stan stays over there.
Here's Nisley breaking a couple tackles. He gets out across the 40.
Come on, guys.
45. He's still on his feet.
There we go.
And he's out to midfield to the 48 of Tuscola. Dylan Nisley.
A few more of those arm tackles that we were talking about there, Alan.
That's going to be a 28-yard carry for Nisley.
But, we were talking about Stan Winke over there at Shelbyville. I tell you, if he puts his time in over there, Stan will build a program over there eventually. He, it took him a couple years to get going over here at Tuscola. But once Stan established the program over here, he really did a fine job of building up this football program over here in Tuscola. And ever since then, I tell you, these kids with the JFL program and everything we have over here, they look forward to playing football, and it's a winning program now.
Yeah, it's, frankly, it's one of the best programs for its size of school in the state. Here's a handoff going to number 44, Matt Justice.
And, Tuscola, we've always had good football over here.
Yeah.
But since the playoff system has come into play, and we had a few down years there for a while. Speaking of down years, we got a down Tuscola Warrior out here midfield.
Yeah, I can't tell right now who it is, but that'll stop the clock with 3:46 to go. Justice picked up 11 yards on the play. Monticello unofficially 15 first downs on the night. And that's Ian Trail.
Ian Trail.
Getting up off the ground. He's a 5'9", 175 senior. He's been seen, I think he's started seeing action after Mike Rotrammel got hurt.
After Mikey Rotrammel went down.
Monticello with the ball at the 37-yard line of Tuscola. 3:46 left to go. Our next Warrior broadcast will be 3 weeks from tonight. Homecoming. Warriors take on Central A&M. Hope you can make it. Celebrate homecoming. If you can't make it to the game, you'll be able to watch the play-by-play on DouglasCountyDigest.com. Mark and I will be back. Hopefully. hope we haven't ticked off too many people. Here's a handoff over the right.
We're planning on it.
Well, I'm going to be here for homecoming anyway, so it'll be. Here's a handoff. I think it was Nisley. Yeah, Dylan Nisley. He didn't get much on the play. 2nd down and 10 at the 37.
Well, what you got to do on a game like this, if you're over there on the coaching staff of the Warriors and you're a player, you just got to take this game film. You got to look at it. You got to make some adjustments. You got to learn from your experience and come out the next week and get after it again.
Here's a handoff up the middle, Justice. He's going to get inside the 35 to the 34.
And make no mistake about it, they didn't lose to a mediocre team here.
No.
Monticello's got a pretty good football team here this year.
You know, if, Tuscola gets out of the games against the black division, at 2-2, because they've got St. Teresa coming up in 2 weeks. And, you're 2-2, all you have to do is really go 3-2 the rest of the way, and you're in the playoffs.
Get the playoffs, correct.
Moreau's going to be tough. Central A&M's going to be tough. But you got Central A&M here. Here's a pitch out to Nicely, left side. He's going to be stacked up behind the line. Austin Benich in there. Blake Woodard.
It doesn't surprise me that he came up without his helmet on, because I saw somebody come in there and pretty much take him down with a headlock. His helmet pops off. He's coming out of the game. Monticello's got some substitutes going out there. 1:27 left in this game. 13:49. Sages.
Backs in the eye behind Sam Parrish. It's 4th down and 8 from the 35-yard line. Parrish, man wide to the right side.
44, Andrew Foy. New to the Tuscola Warrior defense.
I think that was Nicely. Nope, Clay Becker gets the call that time.
34, Cole Evans.
He got about a yard. And it's going to be Tuscola taking over on downs. With 1:03 left to go, the ball at the 34 of Tuscola.
81, Eric Christ. A newcomer to the Tuscola offense. I'll try to call out some of these names, let these guys get a little recognition out here.
Tristan Williams is in. Tommy Watson coming in their side. Nick Bates at quarterback. He's been in since about midway through the 3rd quarter. He gets a snap, looks to the right side.
Nice pass
complete. Tristan Williams gets up near midfield to about the 48-yard line.
Nick's got a tight little spiral on him. For a freshman getting out there in a varsity game, he's got some pretty good composure.
That's the 3rd catch for 26 yards for Tristan Williams. And it's a 1st and 10 for the Warriors.
Well, Al, Hurricane Isaac gave us a break, stayed away from us tonight. Been a beautiful night for a football game.
It started out a little muggy, but it's turned out pretty nice. Here's Bates intending to pass for
his brother.
They'll hear about that at the dinner table on the ride home.
He's going to be asking his brother, why weren't you looking? He threw it right by him. By the time he turned around and looked to see where the pass was, it was by him.
Zach saying, well, you were 10 yards away. You didn't have to throw a fastball. 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line. Clock stopped with 31 seconds to go. Here's Bates going to keep it himself. He's brought down by the opposing quarterback, Sam Parrish. He gets across midfield to the 46. That's going to be a gain of about 6. 3rd and 4 for Nick Bates. And he's got about 43 yards on 9 carries. Here's Bates handing off on the reverse. Christopher West, he's going to be stopped at about the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard as time runs out. And the final score, Monticello 49, Tuscola 13. As the Sages go to 2-0 on the season, Tuscola drops to 1-1. Monticello will be at home next Friday night against Meridian. Tuscola will be on the road against the Shelbyville Rams and their former head coach, Stan Winke.
The players are meeting at half field, showing their sportsmanship. And the Warriors just have to find a way to rebound and learn from this loss and strap it back up next week and come back and just keep on fighting. Young team, you just got to keep on keeping on.